Okay, welcome everyone. This is the Super Metroid Winter Map Rando Tournament. And today we have a lower gold bracket round between TechnoWaffle and theJakJak. So this is... the first seed today is going to be random objectives. So let's go over the picks and bans really quickly. Techno banned bowling, JakJak banned Ridley, JakJak selected Fantoon, and Techno selected Dragon. So that's how things have worked out here. We also took a little sneak peek at the seed and discovered the other two random objectives are going to be Metal Pirates and Plasma Pirates. So runners are already started. We're just on a little bit of a delay here. Should be going any second now. Or maybe the delay is a little longer than I thought. Either way, we're going to see them start. There we go. Okay. So yes, they start here in this ammo refill room in what looks like Norfair. Immediately into Business Center. So this is both good and bad. A lot of blinding to do. Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. Although new area discovered. Can do that, but a little rough on JakJak's screen. That was the escape room. This is possible to another entrance to Meridia. That's interesting. Into Caterpillar room. Another large number of doors to check. Looks like both runners seem to be going into Meridia here. Far map. Decently close in Norfair, but of course they right now don't have a way to get there. That's GT. Techno's going to do a little item check here. Let's see, X-ray scope. He doesn't care about that. Yeah, so Techno's going to commit to this escape room. These pirates don't do too much damage. I think you should be able to get through them just by tanking it. Yeah. Oh, and interesting. So JakJak has gone up the elevator to find supers. TechnoWaffle heading there now. So supers doesn't do much for the runners right now. There's probably, unless I missed something, they're still going to be looking... I did miss something. That is Kraid's elevator there. So yeah, supers put that into logic. Another super door. And ship. Interesting early ship find. No way to reach the top two doors, but can go to the right here. Aqueduct, can't do that either. Yeah, so both runners essentially just running around at this point, trying to see where the next progression goes. Supers does unlock this, but without anything meaningful to do at ship, they have to go back. So gate glitch there in what was that? The grapple beam escape tutorial thing. They can do that, but it wouldn't necessarily be in logic. Yet another room they cannot do, the Batun E-Tank Hall. So I think both of them are probably a little confused right now. Still have more doors to check, but we'll see. There's another super door. Okay, we've got Terminator, so maybe Morph is at the end of this. Screw attack. Okay, so I think Techno, he may still continue to blind, but the first thing that I think of when I get screw attack is top left of ship, which is a classic start from, Season 1 and Season 2. Still other things he could be blinding, but I think he recognized that just loops around to GT, so he's going to go back for that. Meanwhile, TechJak finds Big Pink. That is a good find for when they get Morph and Power Bombs, but currently locked out of that. Yeah, it's worth pointing out that Techno he's either like second or tied for first with number of map randos played this season, like over 300, I'm sure. And one thing he is very good at is identifying logic chains. So he's very, very confident in his knowledge, and frequently plays like higher seeds or more difficult seeds just to get more experience going through the logic. Yep, I'm going to take a save here to get the supers back and then immediately go top left. Meanwhile, TechJak's still blinding. I think that is a one-way? I'm not sure. I forget. But he may be stuck there. That's a one-way. Techno, on the other hand, finds space jump. So now that puts the top right of ship into logic. Metroid room. Yeah, they saw this. No, they didn't see this before. Back to Aqueduct. Okay. That's interesting. X-ray might be progression here. If gravity is also there. It's the only other major we know about, but of course, there is a bunch of other rooms to explore. And yeah, TechJak is just not going up the elevator. He will very easily find screw attack once he does. A little unfortunate, but with this many rooms in the early game, it is kind of hard to remember where you've been and what you haven't done yet. But it does look like he's checking the elevator. Oh, Techno, a little stuck there. You do have to be careful. I mean, I know the ship is there for a save, but that is a soft lock. If you get stuck there, it's very hard to wiggle. Okay, recollecting space jump. While TechJak doing the same thing, gonna explore a little bit. I don't know if he peeked GT earlier, so he might find out that GT is here. Or he might leave. That works as well. Yeah, going back, I think JakJak almost certainly recognized top left of ship as well. Although interesting, oh no, they can't do Gauntlet. They need Morph. I was gonna say, why not go for the map? But of course, map is Morph locked, so they cannot. Techno going to be breaking logic here. Again, despite having supers, this would not be considered in logic unless they had at least 15 or some way of farming in the same room, I believe. But if you can green gate lich, then you might as well check. Yeah, more blinding in Meridia by Techno. This is a bit of a rough start. You know, usually you start around an area that has a lot of item checks or room checks, so to speak, but to have so many so early on is, while it's not rare, it is quite frustrating. Okay, and that's space jump for JakJak. Another area. We've seen quite a few so far. Techno and Meridia in the front of Gauntlet. Easily able to do that with Screw Attack. Ah, this is another Morph lock. Morph and Power Bomb lock. So Techno's looking at the map again to see what he missed. I'm going to say, ooh, JakJak takes a death there. Was that to the Metroids? I didn't quite catch that. Gary. Yeah, that's a... Yeah, Sandpit would not be in logic right now. I don't think either of them would be without high jump. I don't think the... Oops, careful there, Techno. I don't think the middle right door of Aqueduct is in logic without high jump either. I'm not quite sure about that. Alright, JakJak's gonna try for this, or maybe refill, but I think he might have forgotten he needs Morph at the end of this. It still is an item check, though. Ooh, high jump. Okay. That would be a good item to find, especially with the water rooms that we've seen. Techno back... Yeah, Techno's back in Meridia, checking this downward path to GT. That does not look promising, though. That is Oasis. And so he cannot get back up from that. And he has no way of killing GT to get back. So that is also not the way. Very interesting start here. I don't see what they're missing. Wreck ship is blocked by... Wreck ship is blocked by Big Pink. They look completely Morph blocked and GT blocked in Meridia. I forget what the rest of Brinstar had. Techno... Yeah, I think he's... Okay, he's going for a sandpit. This is the the so-called NevD play here. Oh, get careful with Gary. The so-called NevD play here, definitely not in logic. But if there's a way to loop around to the top right door, not in logic to get any items in the sandpit, excuse me, but if there's a way to loop around to the right door, it could be in logic for that. You could also be going for the map here, which I just noticed. That's a good find. Oh, a lot of majors. Very interesting. Yeah, so we know that major in Gauntlet is high jump. And I think that was accessible by the right, unless I'm missing some Morphlock there. This is probably the filler E-tank here in Bubble Mountain. Yeah, a lot of majors in the early game, but the one I think they are quite desperate for is Morph. Yeah, this looks to be... No, that is a one-way. I don't... He can't get back from that. I think he's just checking what this item is. Or, I'm sorry, can he get back from here? Oh, he can get back from here. Yes, okay. So that is probably the logic play. That is quite a bit roundabout. But I guess it works. It is indeed a nasty loop. All right, so Techno going... This was the way to the ship. I am forgetting specifically what high jump would do for him over here, but I'm sure in the moment he is more aware of the seed than I am. So we'll see what he does. To loop around, right. You need to loop around back to Aqueduct. Now with high jump, middle right should be in logic. Or, I'm sorry, no, the pit should be in logic. So we can get this. He's gonna do the snail climb here and get these majors. Then probably drop down the pit and see what's there. Okay, that's one. More supers. You can get this. You technically need X-ray to put it into logic, but they've already seen X-ray. But it is Spazer. Not what he wanted to see, but I suppose at this point it's not that bad. So I did not see what's in the top left of that pit, but with space jump and high jump, you should be able to break free from it and get up there and get those items, and that could be logical power bombs. Meanwhile, TechnoWaffle is also going back to Aqueduct. We'll see if he has the same idea to do a sack for the map down the pits. Very nice break free. Okay, one is supers. Ooh, just missiles. So still looking for power bombs here. That's probably the next thing that unlocks some significant progress in this seed. Okay, JakJak is going to be skipping high jump boots here to get Morph, but that is okay. Very nicely done. Gary can be quite a pain there. Techno going through this sand pit, which you can do with just high jump, I believe. No, you may need spring ball for that first part. I kind of forget. Sandpit logic's a little weird. Or sand hall logic. So JakJak looking at the map right now. It's not clear if he sees the loop yet. I think he's trying to climb back up here. Yeah, this is a hard climb without spring ball or high jump. Okay, so Techno did drop down to the other sand pit and finds power bombs. That is I don't think that's in logic because it kind of looks like he would need bombs or power bombs to get out of this. But he got bailed anyway. Because the path back looks to be through Bubble Mountain, which you need power bombs to get out of. I could be mistaken. I am not, though. More power bombs. Meanwhile, JakJak's still not quite seeing the connection with the sand pit there. Yeah, he does know high jump exists. So he now, with Morph, he can get to it from the other side. Well, actually, no, he cannot. Because he would need bombs. Yeah, Screw Attack can work for the set of blocks on the right, but not for the one in the Morph Tunnel. Yeah, so I forget exactly, but he may actually be able to get to high jump from here. I think this does loop around. Yes, it loops through to Bubble Mountain. Okay, meanwhile, Techno, with power bombs, can get to Big Pink now. Another very interesting thing, even though Ridley is banned, so to speak, is Techno is at 20 super missiles right now. So even if he doesn't have to do Ridley, he does still have to do Mother Brain. And that is very good for him. Just another He would obviously need a lot more missiles, but well, there's Varia. So now he doesn't even need any more tanks. He would still need missiles, but 30 or 40 and 30 is enough for Mother Brain, so he's well on the way to that. Yeah, that's another thing that my tracker is pointing out for me. Also, Wave, another decent item to find in Big Pink. But TechnoJak has just gotten that filler E-Tank. He's going to take this save, see the path to high jump boots, and hopefully get them. And Kraid is hiding the water map. Let's see what we have in Wreck Ship. So we got Mother Brain at the bottom of Big Pink. No more majors, and no area connections. A decent amount of X's, though. I still imagine he is not going to see, or not going to spend too much time in Wreck Ship, though. Also, I just glossed over that Techno did Kraid. Completely DLC there, though with a good quick kill. But Kraid is, of course, not required. So he just did that for fun. And the map. Okay, TechnoJak has the map now. Excellent. He's looking around. Probably sees that connection to high jump boots there and realizes that's the path. Get a few E-tanks for your trouble along the way as well. So this mode is random objectives. The objectives that are required are the bottom of the tracker there. So from left to right, we have Fantoon, Dragon, Metal Pirates, and Plasma Pirates. Yeah, meanwhile, Techno back into Brinstar here. Gonna be doing some blinding and trying to get to the map here. Yeah, hopefully nothing. Could be a water room along the way, but oh, or the toilet. That's probably not where you wanted to go, but into Croc. Okay. I must have missed it. Did something happen to TechnoJak? He. Oh, he has high jump boots. Okay. I wasn't sure if he reset or not, but I think it looks like he has high jump. We'll definitely see in the water here. Or the map, but I couldn't see it. Oh, I see. Yes, he does have high jump. He's just going around back to the pits. Yes, because we know supers. Right, yeah, because we know there are supers here, and then in the other pits there are the power bombs. So he's going to be looking for these X's because he doesn't know they aren't power bombs yet. More blinding by Techno here. Only gets missiles. A nice breakthrough by TechnoJak. Skips the missiles. I'm not sure. At this point, when you have no missiles, I'm not sure why you would skip them. But the supers are definitely better. Yeah, nice little midair morph there. Those are the 2-tile ones are very, very hard. Techno is doing reverse amphitheater. This must lead to the map because I do not see you doing this otherwise, and he is just about to die. Yeah. That was very close. I would have not imagined you could get that far with just 4 tanks in Varia. Alright, and JakJak is down the other pit. Gets his power bombs. The rest of the early game is unlocked for him now. More blinding by Techno and okay, it looks like the map is blocked by surely is blocked by Amphitheater, because I don't see why you would do Croc otherwise. It's not a hard fight, but it does take time. Ice Beam. Okay. That's a very good pickup. That's a Zeb skip now. I forget what room was to the right of Mother Brain, but I don't know if it was you could get a spark there. So this is probably nice for Techno to not have to worry about that. Obviously doesn't have speed either. Oh, JakJak takes that revert. He must have gotten stuck in... I'm not sure what he was going for in the sand pit there, but you can get stuck going... he was going for West Ocean. Okay. Yeah, you can... I don't know if you can do that left to right with just high jump. I think you need Ice or Spring Ball to do that. All right, map for Techno and Brinstar. We've got one major connection to Meridia, which we knew about, and I did not see any bosses. Charge. Very nice find. Okay, so I think at this point Techno would probably only want... I mean, grapple would be nice, but probably would only want like speed booster or gravity at this point. I don't think he will go out of his way for majors, so to speak, with charge, because he has everything he needs to beat the game right now, including energy and the ability to kill plasma pirates and Dragon. Okay, JakJak into West Ocean by going down from the center there. I don't know if there are any areas to the right of West Ocean here. There's, of course, Mother Brain, and there are, of course, a couple of majors over here. Oh, that's interesting. West Ocean does not connect through the two lower doors to the top of West Ocean. I wonder what kind of crazy loop is required for that. Oh, very nice find by TechnoWaffle. So there hasn't been a lot of water rooms encountered yet, but that just means the rest of the seed will require you to go through. Yeah, that is a nasty loop. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have to actually go through. Wow. Okay, you have to go down the sand pit, through X-ray hall, up pre-pillars, and Firefly's room to get to the other side of West Ocean. I think unless that major is speed, it would be devastating for TechnoWaffle to try that, because we know that the rest of the majors he's probably interested in are not up there. So Techno going up Red Key Hunter shaft. Gonna get a map for this. This could be Fantoon. I think. Yeah, I think this was the last. Nope, it clearly was not. Could have been the last left map, but now the next one after this is definitely Fantoon. Okay, we got a connection to Criteria up top, and pretty much nothing else. So that's got to be where Techno is headed right now. Techno is very much in the lead here, just based off of knowledge. No boss is down for either runner. We know where Dragon... I think just Dragon. We only know where Dragon and Mother Brain are. Dragon is... Let's see, Mother Brain was in Wreck Ship. And Dragon is in Norfair. So Techno is most likely going to be just doing the search for the rest of the bosses, and then his routing back probably takes into account that Dragon is in Norfair. Okay, TechnoWaffle is going for the top of West Ocean here. There are two majors. So outstanding, we have Plasma, Speed, Bombs, and Spring Ball and Grapple. Again, out of those, I think really the one that is going to be most useful to TechnoWaffle is probably going to be Speed. Varia was in Wrecked Ship, so hopefully he goes back for that now that he has the power bombs. I think he's just going for these majors up here. And Techno apparently got the map while I wasn't looking, and has found Metal Pirates. So this should be very easy with Varia and 25 supers. Nicely done. And TechnoWaffle just got... I didn't see it. Plasma, okay. So unfortunately, the value of Plasma is not that high in this seed. Of course, Plasma Pirates are a thing, but it's not quite going to help out with a lot of the other bosses. Not without Charge and X-Ray. You can microwave Fantoon and Dragon, but that was a very out-of-the-way major. I'm not so sure that that is going to overall help TechnoWaffle. The ones that he really wants are going to be Varia and Charge, which Techno has and are in Wreck Ship and I believe Brinstar respectively. Oh, careful, Techno. Okay, he got it. A little bit of shambles there, but what can you do? All right, last area, Torian. So Torian has to have Fantoon. Techno knows to go straight for the map. And it also has to have Plasma Pirates. Ooh. So this is not in logic for Techno without gravity. He will try and underwater wall jump it, because he is able to. That's close. It's also very interesting that they haven't had to traverse too many water rooms besides that. Hopefully that's not going to be a blocker for Techno here. There could be a niche situation where he has to go through Main Street or Everest that are both connected by water rooms, so cross-room jumps are impossible, which would require gravity or at least spring ball. But, you know, hopefully that just doesn't happen for him. And so JakJak is about to go fight Kraid after picking up Wave and Faria. And a nice cross room across the crab shaft for Techno. See, this is a situation that could be bad for Techno. So with underwater wall jumping, he can reach the top left, but he cannot reach the top right. And so he's going to have to... Well, he knows this map he should know this map is Fantoon. Yes, so he does know. He's just doing the turnaround here to get to the other side of Fish Tank. Okay, JakJak sees what's in Wreck Ship, resets at that save, and then is just going to get out of there and probably go to Meridia or Brinstar. Yeah, Techno on Fantoon now. So, while Techno is out of logic right now, basically stuck in a lot of water rooms, with high jump and ice, it is, I believe he's capable of getting out of this. He knows how to underwater wall jump. He knows how to, do tech with Ice Beam. He should be fine. But it is going to be very slow, and JakJak's going to be able to fly through those rooms with gravity. Yeah, you can do the double crab ice climb to the top of Everest. Techno probably knows how to do that, but that is that's a lot of time. Good Fantoon kill by Techno. And JakJak in here in Meridia. So I believe there were a couple of majors in Meridia. Sort of forgetting at this point. But there were no bosses or objectives there. Okay, so Techno getting the Turian map. Oof, Plasma Pirates. Okay, that's not so bad. That is top right of Fish Tank. That is probably the best position they could be given his loadout. Ooh, gets hit by the fish there. Doesn't quite get the crossroom jump. Meanwhile, JakJak looks to be skipping Brinstar, which had charge. Now, charge is not necessary to finish the game at this point, but it would really help with Mother Brain. All right, Techno and the Plasma Pirates now. They are nothing to screw attack. And there we go. So that is the third objective down for Techno. What is left is Dragon in Norfair, and then back to Wreck Ship for Mother Brain. So with his... yeah, he has charge and PRKD beam. He's just going to go straight to Mother Brain. No need to refill or do anything like that. Dragon is... well, Dragon's very doable with this. Very nice crab super there by Techno. He would have had to reset the room if he didn't get that. But yeah, Dragon is not that hard, even without gravity. All right, JakJak going for the map. Sees criteria. Now, interesting. I wonder if he peaked GT earlier and knows that that major is X-ray. Doesn't seem to be going for it, so maybe he does know. So at this point, JakJak might just skip the majors regardless. With double suit, you know, high jump and space jump and screw, he doesn't need anything else. He has more than enough ammo to finish the game. So even if he thought that was charge, it's probably not worth it to him. He sees Metal Pirates there. Don't know if he saw the Turian connection, but he eventually will. He knows that's the last area he needs. Techno doing some double checking on his routing. Just to make sure he didn't overlook things. And yeah, I'd say at this point, JakJak is going to be flying through a lot of these rooms that were pretty slow for Techno. But Techno's lead is very strong here. I think it was unfortunately, the early game was very difficult. And JakJak did go for gravity, which, while helpful, was a bit out of the way. Yeah, and JakJak really also still needs to look for some X's for Mother Brain, because he did not go into Brinstar to get charge. So he's going to have to route those in as well. Somewhat negates the benefit of gravity. So he will save a couple of minutes probably on Techno's Turian split, because those were a lot of very difficult water rooms to navigate. Interesting. Surely he's going to check those X's, right? Okay, maybe not. It's difficult to say if he thinks he is behind or not. With that early game, it's possible he does at this point believe he is just behind, and that, you know, even just any seconds he can save is good enough. Another thing that I just realized is he is going the wrong way. So I don't think he saw Turian there. That's right. He hasn't checked Brinstar, so that might be his next goal. I'm not quite sure. Techno doing a little bit of cheating here. I'm sorry, that I didn't mean to say that. Techno is doing a trick called PLM overloading. Something you can do with Wave. That is not in Logic at this difficulty, but Techno does know how to do it. There's basically like off-screen blocks that you can shoot with Wave, and when they are destroyed, they overload the rest of the blocks in the game. Okay, and yeah, I think TechnoWaffle just overlooked Torian here, and he's going for the map. It would be very strange to me if he was actually looking for charge. He will find it here, but yeah, I'm not so sure about backtracking all the way to Brinstar when there's an area to check in Criteria. He's gonna find the bad news about Amphitheater. Although 4 tanks with double suit, I'm pretty sure he could make that. Not sure how confident he is in making that, though. Not at all, it seems. Meanwhile, Dragon giving a little trouble to Techno, but she looks like she is almost dead. All right, with Dragon down, that is all bosses for Techno. He will be heading straight up Norfair to Wreck Ship, where Mother Brain is. TechnoWaffle will find charge, or no, this was just a missile. Charge was somewhere here. He will find it. But But he will not find what he's really looking for, which is Phantoon and Plasma Pirates. Techno doing a little, I think that was a little early. Techno's trying to get out of Dragon. Yep. Nice cross-room jump there. Is this Spore Spawn? It is Spore Spawn. Okay, we get a little extra DLC. We got to see Kraid, we got to see Croc, and we get to see Spore Spawn. Yeah, JakJak doing reverse amphitheater here. Plenty of health. It does seem scary at first, but with double suit, it's not so bad. He might... I guess he doesn't think this is... it can't be Phantoon. I mean, we know it can't be Phantoon, but the other door was locked by missiles, so... Okay, so now he's looking. He's going to discover he overlooked Torian in Criteria and not be happy about it. Yeah. Not what he wanted to see. And there's charge for JakJak. Somewhat of a consolation prize for checking out Bryn's Star. But I think still not quite necessary for him at this point. And I don't think I saw this before, but that is actually quite a nasty path to Mother Brain. This map has been very interesting with a lot of... these have not been fun loops. Almost there, though. Techno's, checking if this is supers. Doesn't not need them, but supers are way more damage per second, so if you can get them, why not? And yes, it is sad to see for JakJak, especially in a race like this where stakes are high. It feels really bad to overlook stuff. But remember, both of these runners are in a tournament mindset. They're both thinking that they need to go fast and that they need to take, calculated risks. So it's very easy to overlook stuff with that mindset. It's nothing we can really fault him for. It is just simply, kind of a lot to keep track of everything. It gets worse as the games go on because you start to get seed bleed. It is a very, very understandable mistake to make. But Techno here is on Mother Brain. I did my math right. That's 8 shots and then 26 supers, and he will be done. So let's see. We know the ship is in Norfair, which is connected to Wreck Ship. I don't think the path is too bad to get back to, so let's start guessing what the escape is going to be. I'm going to go with 1 minute and 10 seconds. All right, let's see. 30. What the? Well, no one gets it. Is this faster to the ship than I thought? I know it's fast to get back to Norfair here, but was the ship next door? Oh, the ship was actually just next door. Oops. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. No one got it, but that's okay. And that is game 1, going to TechnoWaffle with an official race time of 59 minutes, 59 seconds. SpeedGaming and Super Metroid fans, we have game 2 between TechnoWaffle and theJakJak. As you saw at the beginning, TechnoWaffle was doing a little Minesweeper before getting set up here. This round is going to be Season 3 multi-categories. The pick is Gravity 9+1. So that is starting with it is a pseudo double suit mode where they start with gravity for water movement, and they start with 9 E-tanks plus a reserve to handle many heated rooms. So, runners are just about to get started here, and we will see what we end up with. And yes, I do see in the chat we've got a couple of JakJak fans hoping for a game 3. Commentators have to be impartial, but I do also hope for a game 3 myself, so we will see. Okay, a very fun start. Can't go right, so they immediately have to go take a bunch of damage to get out of this, which of course gravity as well as 9 E-tanks lets them do. Into a very slow room. It is, if they have to reset often in the early game, that is going to be very annoying for them. And yet another annoying room to get through. Not too hard with gravity, but we'll see. Ooh, crumble shaft. Yeah, I would go get that. And it is morph. So now Techno is going to go ahead immediately back to the right to check what was at the top of Climb Supers. Tanking a little damage here, but of course 9 E-tanks doesn't really matter. Bombs. Okay, that was definitely the logical progression. So good on both of them for figuring out to go back. Morph and bombs early is a stark contrast to Seed 1, where morph was like step 4 or 5, and power bombs were a couple steps after that. So the runners actually spent a lot of time in the early game running around looking for both morph and some explosive. So they're probably both excited that they don't have to do that again. Heat into heat here. This is not... Oh, those pirates hit for a lot. JakJak's got to be careful here. But yeah, these heated rooms are all in logic with the 9 E-tanks. Nice tech there to manipulate the pirates into jumping, and they're both through. Yeah, save at the end of this is probably very nice for them. They'll never have to go through that loop again, since it's a dead end. heat into more heat here. Ah, but you get a refill, so that is quite nice. Yeah, JakJak is probably going to be elated to see that. Okay, and Mama Turtle here. So 2 potential majors. Or power bombs. Power bombs works as well. Ooh. So Techno going for the double bomb jump there. Doesn't quite get the last one. I think he was trying to switch to single bomb jumps to do the horizontal one. Nice. Gets it in the end. JakJak going with single bomb jumping. It is slower, but it is much, much easier to do. Very nice. So power bombs is actually going to unlock the bottom of pre-pillars. But of course, there's a lot of exploring to be done. And climb is an interesting room to find, especially if it connects to a different area. Top of Spore Spawn. Techno did not like that. A Metroid room. Interesting. Techno is definitely, I believe both of them seem to be committing to Turian here. I didn't quite see where the map was in Criteria, but I would have expected them to check that to see if they could get to it. Yeah, and Techno and JakJak very soon going into Bubble Mountain. A lot of door checks here. Also brings them closer to the map. And we'll see what this item is at the bottom. More power bombs. Now, one interesting thing about this mode is, yes, they do have a lot of health. However, if they have to do multiple repeated hell runs, it is going to be quite a lot to refill that health. So, while I doubt they wanted to see power bombs there, getting up to 15 power bombs will allow for a crystal flash, which could potentially be in logic. And that would help them get through, multiple heated rooms. Ooh, JakJak had to turn around to farm some missiles there. That's quite unfortunate. Didn't get the drop from that CAC. I don't know what their drop rates are, but seems a little unfortunate. Techno peeked those items, but of course I wasn't looking when he did it, so I don't know what they were. But map seems to be blocked for them right now. Missiles only? Okay. Okay, no, map is definitely not blocked. It was just above. This could be Fantoon. It is not. But that's okay. Let's see. Dragon, a connection to Brinstar. One major over by Beach. And a major in Plasma Pirates. And a connection to Criteria. So they can get that major to the right. And They could do Dracon if they really wanted to, but I think they'll probably pick up some more items there. Plasma Pirates would be... they could not do Plasma Pirates right now. They would either need Charge, Plasma, Speed Booster, or Screw Attack for that. And welcome SpeedGaming 3 to this match between TechnoWaffle and TechJakJak. This is game 2, Gravity 9 plus 1. And Techno is up 1-0 right now. Okay, so TechJakJak is going to check this, but charge. Okay, that's a pretty good item. So that's actually really interesting because you can get out of there since that was charge. It's a big commitment, of course. You would take a lot of damage doing the pseudo screw, but with Gravity 9 plus 1, I think you can survive that. I think it's only like 80 per hit or something. There's only 6 pirates. And you can shoot the ones on the wall. Oh, or plasma beam. Okay, so plasma and charge. Yeah, that'll definitely allow them to do plasma pirates. So that's a very good find by TechJakJak, committing to those majors. Last game he committed and found plasma and gravity, and it didn't really work out for him in the end. That routing was very long. But this is very early on in the seed, and these are, relatively speaking, not far out of the way. So this could become very important in the late game, picking up these 2 items. Depending on how the rest of the map works, it's not clear if Techno will go back for those. And speaking of Techno, I haven't been paying attention. He's now in Brinstar with the map. Metal Pirates here. Doable on 5 supers. Wow, I was almost very unlucky for drops. Okay, space jump for Techno. That is another very nice quality of life item. Could easily be necessary. And it's... getting it early on it really helps out with movement. So TechJakJak back for charge. Definitely going to be keeping that. Ooh. One thing I didn't think... Oh, no, he has bombs. He's fine. I was going to say that jump there is... from the left is... I can't do it. But with bombs, you can get up here. You can't... Yeah, you can't kill him off screen, unfortunately. But he gets it. Now he's out. Let's see. So while Techno is waiting for Shack Tool and TechJakJak is waiting to grav jump, I'll say reminder to follow. Yep, Phoenix got it. Reminder to follow the runners. You don't have to follow. You can follow Phoenix, but you don't have to follow me because I don't stream. Ooh, TechJakJak couldn't quite keep charge there. Took a little too much damage trying to grav jump. Yeah, back into criteria. Not much you can do here. You can check the left side of pre-pillars, which it looks like he is opting to do. But it is a potential speed lock there, so he's going to have to be careful. Okay, so it looks like Brinstar seems to be the hub here. Connections to Norfair, Torian, and Meridia. It's certainly good to explore, but I think we'll see how it works out with Techno not going back for Charge Plasma. Ooh, super locked. Yeah, JakJak needs to go get supers, which I think... No, Techno did find them in Torian, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so not speed lock there, but is super lock. So he'll take the reset there. He couldn't really find anything. A couple of X's he can check here. I do wonder if he'll try and go for charge again. Meanwhile, spring ball for Techno. Not super useful, but who doesn't love a good luxury? And now what I think is interesting is that, well, Techno couldn't quite keep that. Again, health management is actually very important in Gravity 9+1 just because of how many hell runs you are most likely expected to do. But that Power Bomb pack does give him a Crystal Flash. Unfortunately, he didn't have the supers for it. You know, JakJak checking this X. It is supers. So that unlocks the rest of criteria for him. And yes, Techno does have high jump boots, which is just another good thing for movement that really doesn't make Spring Ball necessary, especially with gravity. There's a couple of niche things it does, but we'll see if they come up. Nice grab jump by JakJak. It does look like he may be going back for charge here. Oh, if he is going back for charge, that is a little bad. That's a lot of damage to take from the Metroids, even though obviously he wouldn't die there, but if he's going to go for charge, he basically needs to save as much health as possible for the return trip through Lava Dive. Because in order to get that grav jump, you have to turn off gravity, which essentially doubles lava damage. Instead goes back to... No, okay, so that was the... I was thinking of a different path. He is just going back into criteria here. And now that he's no longer super locked, probably going for the map. Check this door too, why not? Big pink for Techno. couple of item checks. Unfortunately, that pedestal was empty, which means it was one of the unplaced items, either gravity or one of the E-tanks they had. Not quite the path he wanted for Techno. That just does a big loop. Okay, so JakJak is checking the bottom of pre-pillars here since he has supers and... Ooh, Sleepy Robot. Can't quite get that. So he's checking the left here. We'll try and get the map. Meanwhile, Techno got blocked by something. He's also going for the map in Meridia, but apparently couldn't get it. So one more item check up here in Big Pink. Ah, no, he could get it. It was just wave and a dead end. Interesting. Right, JakJak is making his way through criteria. No doors are going to stop him, but there is still the chance for a speed lock. Found Bomb Terizo. Will not go for that because that's a big commitment for just a pack of missiles. Okay, he can... JakJak can get the map. I don't know why he didn't get it. I mean, those hoppers do a lot of damage, but of course he has a lot of health. Possibly Fantoon here for Techno. Nope, just Mother Brain. Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's another right door down here that tripped me up as well. Okay, so this is Fantoon. I don't know if I've ever seen Fantoon and Mother Brain one above each other. That's a little interesting. And while I was distracted, JakJak got the criteria map, and so I didn't see it. Okay, we got a wreck ship connection. Didn't quite see what was at the top left there, but that is also, I believe, speed locked. Okay, just some X's at the top left. So yeah, JakJak is definitely going to go for wreck ship here. Really doesn't make sense to not check it when you're this close. Could turn around if he doesn't like what he sees, but it's definitely worth peeking. And nice Fantoon kill by Waffle. That's probably not too bad of a map, but we'll see in wreck ship. I was going to take the pivot save here, just in case the map is awful and there's nothing, he can just instantly revert. Meanwhile, Technical getting the Meridia map. So we've got Kraid, the ship, Mother Brain, and one major and not much else. So he may skip Kraid here, knowing that the game ends here. And yeah, that was Mother Brain connected right to the ship. Unfortunately, they have to go around through like 3 or 4 rooms, but it doesn't look too bad. Definitely a sub-minute escape. And now Techno seems to be looking back. He sees Criteria there, which he knows he left behind. And TechnoWaffle just got something that I couldn't see. Screw attack. All right, so this is... This is interesting at this point. So, if there is a boss here in Wreck Ship, TechnoWaffle's route might be stronger. Because the game ends in Meridia. So if you get Wreck Ship done right away, and then go through Brinstar and Meridia last, that might be a more optimal route than what Techno has done by skipping Criteria and Wreck Ship. We'll have to see if there is a boss here. Now the other thing is, if that boss is Ridley, TechnoWaffle did not go back for charge. He had to reset it because he didn't make the lava dive. So if Ridley is here, TechnoWaffle would have a hard time killing him. That being said, he does know where charge is, so he can go back and get it. And with charge plasma and this many E-tanks, it is doable. Ridley is doable. Unfortunately for TechnoWaffle, there is nothing here. So Techno's route is a bit stronger. Now, one thing neither runner has right now is any way to Zeb skip. So if this major, if TechnoWaffle goes for it, is speed or ice, that would be a good find. And he has to get it on his way out anyway, so he might as well check. Okay, Techno is opting to do Kraid right now. Again, he will have to come back to Meridia anyway, but potentially there was something over here that he wanted. Just an E-tank. Not even randomized. Speed. Now, that is a good find. We've seen Decora Room so far, and that didn't hold anything. We've seen Croc Speedway. That was not an actual speed lock. We have not seen Frog Speedway. We have seen Klein Supers. So if something is blocked by Frog Speedway, this would be an incredible find for TechnoWaffle. Not quite the spark he wanted. There we go. Okay, so the only thing left to do for TechnoWaffle is to head back essentially where Techno is. In well, Techno's in Meridia, but TechnoWaffle is going to be heading to Brinstar, which has a connector into Meridia. Now, Techno has an option here. I believe there was a connection to Norfair here. So he has the option of doing that, and he has the option of going back for Criteria. Although it does look like Norfair is connected to Criteria. And that's where TechnoWaffle's headed. So current outstanding bosses are, I think, just Ridley. So we saw Dragon earlier, and we've seen Mother Brain. neither runner quite has a solution for Ridley either. I will tentatively say TechnoWaffle is closer. But that's only because he has knowledge of charge. He still has to actually go back and get charge. Techno resetting Norfair did not like that map. Looks like he's going to go back to Turian and potentially Criteria after that. Taking a save here. I think this is a good play. This will allow him to pivot if he has to come all the way back here. Which he could decide to do. There was nothing in Criteria. Or wreck ship, so he does not need those areas. And once he knows that, he could reset all the way back here. What would complicate that is, of course, if he wanted to, if he goes for charged plasma here, or if he goes for speed, then he won't use that revert. But I don't know if he'll go for either major. He may play for X's here. He is not that far away. Just, he could easily do it with one more missile pack and 2 more super packs. Okay, TechnoWaffle is going for Lava Dive again. Hopefully he makes it this time. 20th super pack for Techno. And 30th missile. So one more super pack, and as soon as he finds Ridley, he'll be ready. I have seen him do Ridley with less. But he may be going for these majors here. It looks like he is, either for this E-Tank or the major or both. Okay, plasma for Techno. And an extra E-Tank. Okay, lava dive for TechnoWaffle now. Very nice. And he gets it. Very nicely done. So Ridley takes 18,000 damage. Supers do 600 to Ridley. So bare minimum ammo is 30 supers. Now each 6 missiles is equal to 1 super. So if you have 30 missiles, that's 5 supers that you don't have to hit. So that can be done with 30 and 25. Of course, if you miss a single missile or a single super missile, you have to supplement that with power bombs, which do 200 each or 400 with a double hit. So it's definitely some math you gotta do, but Techno knows, he's pretty familiar with doing Ridley. But he's going for charge. So charge, he's probably incredibly happy to see that. And this, of course, also means he probably won't be resetting back to Brinstar. And charge, plasma wave does 750. So he only needs to do about, like, what is that? 8 shots and then 20 supers, and that should kill Ridley. Normally that would be a little dangerous without Varia, but with this many E-Tanks, that is well within Techno's capabilities. Yes, there are many runners in this tournament who are capable of doing Ridley with just 30 supers. Yeah. Okay, JakJak into Norfair now. With charge plasma. So, plasma alone does 450 per charge shot. So, he is going to need, well, minus 10 supers, I think that's still around like 20 shots or something. Probably more than that. It is not easy. But again, with his health, you should be able to do it. Countering a lot of heat, though. And again, this is the peril of Gravity 9+1. JakJak's going to have to do some farming here. He should have enough health. Oh, yeah, he has speed. He has more than enough health to make it back through Speed Hall there. But not... Gotta farm up a little bit here. I guess he wants to continue. With Screw Attack, this room is not so bad, but if you mess it up, the Key Hunters do hit for 100. Techno is about to microwave Dragon. So you should be able to one-round this. Yep, easy. Nicely done by Techno. It's a pretty consistent one round when you have wave plasma. Okay, JakJak just got the map for Norfair. I did not see where Ridley was. But I do believe we know Ridley has to be there. And JakJak going for this major, too. We'll see what this is. I think it has to be ice. Yeah. Okay. So ice plasma is 600 damage. So that is... Yeah, okay. So that's exactly 20 charge shots and 10 super missiles. Definitely a doable fight, but I am not sure how comfortable JakJak is with Ridley. Ridley is, obviously a formidable boss in the game, but also one of the... you need good RNG when you don't have Varia, because if the fight takes too long, if you don't get your pogos right, if you get hit once too often, it's very easy to, sort of death loop to Ridley. And even top runners will do that. The top 4 seeds in the tournament, they'll attempt Ridley on scarce resources, and they will die a couple times trying to kill him. It is by no means a free fight when you don't have Varia. Alright, Techno and Wasteland here. I'll be honest, I don't know where he's going. Maybe Ridley was down here and I just missed it? Uh-oh. He really wanted that to be an E-Tank. Ooh, and yeah, JakJak finding Varia. So ignore everything I said about Ridley. Now it is free for JakJak. Not free for Techno, though. Okay, Ridley is in Brins. Oh, he's down way at the bottom left. That is fantastic. No speed lock, though. So that's very lucky for Techno. So Techno does get to skip Wreck Ship and Criteria. That is probably the most significant time difference here. If he had to go back to check those areas, or if Ridley was there, JakJak could conceivably be in the lead. But because he went to Brinstar and Meridia first, he got all of the boss knowledge and was just able to, you know, just simply had the better route. So it's again another tough lesson in map rando is that sometimes you just go the wrong way, and there's really no way to know about that. And meanwhile, this fight here is gonna be what, like, it's sick. It should be 6 shots. While he has 15 supers. So just kidding. It's gonna be 8 shots or 10, something like that, and then he'll dump his supers. I can't do math on the fly. Okay, well, Ridley is red, so that's definitely, that means he has 9,000 health left, so that's definitely 15 supers. And I think that hits, so yeah, that is Ridley down for Techno. And again, notice he came in with a good bit of health, and he lost quite a bit of it fighting Ridley. Oh, but there's a refill right there. How lucky. Yeah, so, okay, so JakJak did get the Brinstar map, but overlooked Ridley, potentially? That is actually probably the most unfortunate thing that could happen if that is true, because the game ends in Meridia. So if JakJak had... Oh, you know what? He has total map knowledge right now. So he's most likely, he might not have overlooked Ridley. He might be going back to do Dragon, because now he knows that the game is going to end in Meridia. He should have full map knowledge. So I think that is what he is attempting to do right now. Oh. Falls off, worst room in the game. Yeah, it's a little tough with that whatchamacallit thing shooting at you. I do this myself. You have the urge to dodge it, but then you fall off the platform. And yeah, with no high jump here, this is really the only way he can get up. He could potentially try and spark. I'm not sure if there's a complete runway for that, but it kind of looks like there is. Alright, meanwhile, Techno headed back to Meridia, about to finish the game up. There we go. Nice JakJak. Okay. Yep, okay, so he is going for Dragon. I believe that's the correct play in his situation. Getting Dragon out of the way is going to be a significant routing time save. Right. Techno back at the ship for a quick refill. Doesn't really need the health, but the ammo is nice. While Mother Brain is not necessarily a threat. Oh, right. Mother Brain's right next to the ship. So yeah, why wouldn't you refill? But either way, supers do more damage per second, so... Oh, and he can't Zeb skip. Okay, so yeah, so pretty much refill was his only option. Okay. Start of the second fight here. Yeah, make sure to get your guesses in chat. I'm gonna go with 20 seconds. I don't think it is as fast as it looks. They do have to go through a couple of rooms. All right, JakJak done with Dragon. His first boss. On the way back to Brinstar and then Meridia. A little too little, too late though. As Techno starts the escape. What do we have? 20? Okay, so let's see. We've got Zendero, Poom, and me, I guess. All right, we are through, and that is game 2 for Techno. So he will take the series 2-0. His next opponent in this lower gold bracket is going to be Derp, who is a formidable opponent. And a little bit of a delay, but JakJak has seen that Techno has finished and is about to forfeit. And we are joined by Techno now, and we will wait to see if JakJak is also going to join.
Yo.
Hello. Congratulations, Techno.
Thank you, thank you. This was a scary seed. I'll say that for sure.
There was a lot of heat, and Varia was a bit out of the way. I do believe JakJak found it in Norfair, but you had a little bit of better routing. So, you know, obviously with your map knowledge, you decided to skip Norfair, which was a good play. And now we're joined by JakJak as well. Welcome.
Heyo.
GG's to the both of you.
Thank you.
So I think this was a bit of an interesting series. The second seed was a little straightforward, a bit annoying, but straightforward. The first seed, however, I'd like to hear both of your guys' thoughts on that, because that was a rough early game.
Yeah, definitely the beginning, like as far as Norfair, I spent a lot of time trying to piece together how to move around through there, and that did not work out well for me. It just took too long, and I was glad to get the suits, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest difference between you and Techno is, you know, both of you were a little confused by the logic, and I'll be honest, we were too, watching it. But in the end, you both seemed to get it. I think the one big difference, though, was that, yeah, JakJak, you did spend more time in Norfair. You found gravity, which Techno did not. But at that point, I think Techno had found enough of the other bosses and other items to compensate for not having gravity. So it was interesting at the end that Techno did do some out of logic water movement to get through. Basically Turian, which had something, I forget. But it would have been a lot easier with gravity.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was. I'm very lucky. It was those specific doors in those specific rooms in Torian, because
because you didn't even have spring ball.
Yeah, so a UW Jade G4 elevator.
Yep.
And then I did the turnaround to get up Crab Shaft. I had ice, so I could get up Everest. I could go over the little mound on the crab by freezing it. And then for Fantoon, I could do the turnaround jump. It's just awkward, but I'm very lucky that Plasma Pirates is to the top right of Fish Tank and not to the top right of Everest, because I would have to go all the way back for majors. There was a major in Bryn, I think, like top left of Bryn, I was kind of looking at. If I couldn't get through, I was gonna go for that one. But yeah, I was very lucky. And I only noticed the speed lock in front of Dre as I was on my way back from Fantoon. And I
Yeah,
was
and
like,
that
oh,
was
halfway,
yeah,
nice.
that was another one where you did do a little bit of out of logic tech there with the wave PLM overload, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Um, definitely, you got a little lucky there with being able to skip those majors, but your route was very strong in the end there. I think even if you had to go back and get either spring ball or grapple or something, you still would have been slightly in the lead. Um, JakJak, I think the one thing I wanted to ask about game one is so you overlooked Turian a bit. Um, did we were wondering if you just didn't scroll or were looking for other things before going to Turian?
Yeah, I missed the connection to Torian there. I would have definitely checked it if I had seen it
Okay.
when I was scrolling. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's again completely understandable with like race nerves and everything. I've done it a lot myself, even just in casual playthroughs. Um, but it's if you had noticed it would have been a very close race because with gravity alone, it took Techno maybe like 5 to 6 minutes to get through Turian, and you would have flown through it in potentially less than a minute. So a
Yeah,
little unfortunate.
I had a pretty big reaction when I got the second to last map.
Yeah.
And didn't see the T connection because I just assumed that I was looking for a T connection, and then that's when I had to kind of look through, and then I saw that back in Criteria, I think it was, and yeah, that I knew I was cooked at that point, but turned around anyway, and yeah, Techno was done by the time I even made it back to Turian.
Yeah. And yeah, and so turning to game two now, I think you both played it pretty well. The big difference for that is definitely what happened sort of mid game. I'll say it was a pretty linear early game, but JakJak, you went back to Turian for those two majors. You noticed that they were charged plasma. I think with Lava Dive at the time, you failed it the first time. It was definitely in the back of your mind for getting charged, but you also went into Criteria and Wreck Ship, which unfortunately had absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I think that was a good play. It just unfortunately wasn't the play that this seed wanted, and so the big difference there is that Techno went to, I believe, Brinstar, and then found Meridia through that and was able to find the rest of the bosses. So maybe not the god route, so to speak, but definitely a stronger route than going for Criteria, which had a connection into Wreck Ship. So I guess the question is to Techno. You knew that there was potentially some unexplored stuff in Criteria, but you didn't go back for it. You committed to Brinstar, and then Meridia. Is that just you thought that was the better play, better chance for bosses to be there?
Um, it's a bit tough with Criteria. I know there's a super locked door with a dead end, so there could be an item there. I know that whatever's off to the left where the map is,
Yeah.
getting back fast, you probably want speed for Croc Speedway, but I'm at this point I'm thinking I still need supers. There are a lot of majors I have yet to get. We have no boss info yet. I need to just get going. And we come to Torium, and I get to the map, and I've already peeked and seen these are supers in the pirate shaft here. So
Right.
I'm like, oh, well, I'll just go straight up. get those supers, and then I'll peek Bryn because I'm here. I did know there were 2 mages here. I just thought right now, no boss info, Bryn is right next to me. I'll go have a look. And then it's a close map. I see Norfair above me, but I see a major below, a major down by the Meridia entrance, and one over here by in Bowling by West Ocean. And my thought process is a bit flawed here, because Norfair, you have the save right next to the map, and you can just go straight there, and it's the biggest zone, and we only know about Dre and Ridley. So in hindsight, I think I was overly focused on these mages. There are 2 X's, so it's like, oh, well, Ridley ammo, Ridley's here, I want to kind of get that done fast. But I think going to Norfair here is way stronger. But in my mind, I'm like, I need to be able to kill Brainers still. And I have to go back for Dre. Obviously, in the end, these mages weren't that great. And then Meridia was also kind of bad trying to route to the map. That was a bad map in Meridia, actually. But,
Right. We were actually, I thought it was so funny that you must have been like, aha, this is Fantoon when you went into Mother Brain's room because of the like boss delay and being like, wait a second.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh, this is really bad. Just because I know that Dragon is like 2 entire zones away, or 3.
Right.
And I'm like, so I have to go all the way back for Dre. I have to go back for Ridley and find stuff. And I'm looking here, and it's like, there's 1 X, and Kraid is here, and there's a major. So I'm like, I have to pick up the X just to see what it is. I have to get the major, and I have to just get Kraid out of the way now. I can't like revert this progress. And then I go back to Bryn, and it's a case of, I went to peak Norfair, and I saw the maps kind of to the left. It's a water map, so it's on the right side, so I know it like it's going to loop around weirdly, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I know there's 2 mages. I know there's an X and some missiles I left behind in Torian. I know C is also there. And I just want to get Dre done, so I just go for the mages. It is so unbelievably lucky that those are charged plasma. Because if charge isn't there, I still have to pick up more ammo to probably be able to kill Ridley. There are 2 X's near Ridley, so that might have not been an issue at the end. But yeah, having charged plasma there makes getting through worst from the game and killing Dre trivial. And then it means I get to skip criteria, and I get to, you know, not have to go for ammo and Norfair or anything. I just go straight back. It being a reserve in a wasteland was a bit trolly, having to Crystal Flash. But yeah, having that many tanks at that point, I was like, I don't need to save here. I can just go for it. And yeah, because there are so many outstanding mages at that point. If charge wasn't there, I played really risky. I think that's all I can really say is I played that way riskier than I should have, and I lucked out hard.
So personally, I don't think you lucked out too hard though. I don't think, because you knew there was a speed lock in criteria, or a potential speed lock at least. It wasn't actually a speed lock. And so going for majors at that point, thinking maybe I do need speed, isn't necessarily a bad play. And you did peek Norfair, you saw the map was far away, so you thought you'd try another zone. I don't necessarily think that is too risky. Now, again, maybe it's not the correct play if like you said, charged plasma doesn't end up being in Torian. But I think I think there are a lot of runners who would take that similar route. And again, same with what TechnoWaffle did. Checking out criteria, seeing if you could get through that. It's not necessarily a bad play, especially since he checked those Torian majors earlier and knew they were charged plasma. It takes a lot of like pressure off of searching for X's and things like that. So again, Techno, your play ended up being the stronger one, but wasn't necessarily the riskier one. Yeah, I really do think you both played pretty well in this last game.
Yeah, so for me, there was kind of three major decisions I had to make. The first one, same thing that Techno probably had to make based on what I'm hearing, which is I'm guessing that we were following a similar path until we found the Torian map.
Yes.
From that point, I had to figure out whether or not I wanted to revert because I had peaked that I had peaked charge behind Lava Dive. Just because I saw Lava Dive and I thought to myself, well, that tends to hide good items, and so I wanted to see what was there. So when I got the map, I was a little cursed by that information because I was thinking to myself, well, I want to go get charge. So I had a little bit of trouble today with my gravity jumps, just skill wise. They were just bad. I'm not sure, my timing just felt a little off, and so I got charge after getting plasma, and then failed gravity dive, and so lava dive, and at that point, I decided to go to criteria. My hope was at that point that that criteria was a dead end and that it would have something in there. And then I lost a little time because I didn't collect my supers first. So if I had done that, I think that play, and also like not failing lava dive, if I had just done what I was trying to do just a little more cleanly, that would have worked out better for me because I would have gotten supers, had charge, and then gone into criteria. Which criteria was empty, but it does take you to wreck ship, and in wreck ship you find speed. Unfortunately, at that point, the only way I could get there was with bomb jumps. So I ended up doing a lot of bomb jumping, and that took up a little bit of time. So yeah, wreck ship was pretty empty. But yeah, I felt okay about getting speed. I knew that like skill wise, I had lost probably 5 minutes or so to just some basic movement things. But then I came back through, and as I was going back to get charge, I saw Norfair there. And I set up a save in Norfair, saw how far away the map was from that save right there at the top of Norfair, and decided to get charge first with the hope that it connected back to Brinstar, because once again I had another opportunity to look at whether I wanted to kill Dragon at that point. So I hoped that Brinstar would connect back around, which it did. So I had that one good guess, somewhat educated guess, because of how the map was set up. It felt like the over map, if you will, the map of maps. I felt like there was a good chance it would connect, but at this point, everything had just kind of taken too long. Yeah.
Yeah, that Norfair looks nasty. Getting to the map there, that does not look pleasant. But yeah, no, like I think.
But yeah, I forget how far away that was actually. But one thing you did find, didn't make too much of a difference, but you also did find Ice and Varia and Norfair, which, all things considered, are pretty good majors to pick up. But unfortunately, at that point, a little too late. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I think that about wraps this up. So, Techno, you will be going to face Derp. I will say good luck with that. Derp is a very strong player. I know you are as well, but I think he's ranked a little lower seed wise than he would be due to not just playing enough in season 4.
Yep.
So I'll say good luck to you.
I'm gonna need it.
And JakJak, I believe. Actually, I don't believe. I'm not sure if this goes down to the silver bracket or not. So, yeah.
Well,
If it does, I will say good luck.
Whether I go on or not, I'm not sure how it works either. I haven't looked into it, but my only defeats were to players with top 10 seed rankings. So I feel good about that. Very happy with my progress as a first season playing through, and yeah. Congratulations to Techno. I was very sad that I had to play against you.
Yeah, sorry.
I think that you're definitely my kryptonite. Just as far as I've seen your times and your consistency, and I was pretty intimidated. I did bring my definitely by game 2. I felt like I was bringing it all for you. So congratulations on the win, man.
No, thanks. I am looking forward to see how you progress in wherever you're going bracket wise, and just in races in general. It's always nice just to see people improve like throughout the course of a season or two. And yeah, no, I'm excited to see how far you get. That sounds pretty ominous, but
I'm going to stick around in the Rando community. It's really what I was looking for, someplace to kind of settle in. I still want to continue playing vanilla Super Metroid. I have other goals there, but yeah, I really enjoy the randomizer, and you guys are so cool. I'm happy to be part of it.
Same.
All right, and with that, again, one final GGs to both of you. Very good series. There is more Map Rando tournament going on right now on another Speed Gaming channel, which I forget. I think just Speed Gaming, just the regular Speed Gaming. There's also extra matches going on this week, such as, I believe, Spiffy versus Aussie, and then Eddie versus Nevdi next weekend. So those are going to be some big matches. Be sure to tune in. Otherwise, thanks for tuning into this match, and we'll see everyone next mission.